Hello again, everyone. This is Zombie Kids Rule, and I'm back with another non-fancy tutorial. This tutorial is going to be about a very simple, like fetch quest. So it's going to be, I mean, you could do pretty much any quest you want, but this tutorial, this basic example, is going to be using a switch and a variable to move the quest along in its different stages. And so it's going to be a very, very simple fetch quest. And as I've said in some of my previous videos, I don't spend a lot of time on these maps. These are all things that I built as I was learning different pieces, discovering, exploring, trying different things. And I'm going back through all my old stuff that I worked on, old being relative since I only started in December. But as I was watching tutorials, basic tutorials, some of those tutorials I followed exactly, and then other ones I took the concepts and I tried something because I was like, hey, I want to know how to do this, so I figured it out. And I'm going back through all that older stuff, and if I think it would be helpful to people, I'm making a video for it. So hopefully this does help folks that are newer like me. So let me show you what this does in the game, or I should say just in the testing environment here. So when we're over here, I'm walking around now. I just want to show you over here. This is where our quest is going to appear, and there's nothing, right? There's nothing stopping me from doing anything. And when I go to my inventory, I don't have any items in my inventory. Okay, so I'm gonna go talk to this shady looking guy, and as soon as I bump into him, he activates. Greeting, adventurers, I seem to have lost my 4 magic candles. Would you help me find them for a reward? Of course. We'll say no first. Too bad. Come back and see me if you change your mind. So we activate him again, and he's going to say the exact same thing. So if you watch my dialogue tutorials, you know that we could have done something different. We could have advanced the text to make him, pretend like to make it seem like he recognized that he talked to us before. I didn't do that when I built this. I actually did the dialogue stuff after that. So anyway, this time he just repeats the same thing. If you're curious about doing varied dialogue, go check out my previous like 7 or 8 first tutorials on dialogue. So we're going to say yes. Sure, we have some time. Sounds like fun. Now the 4 candles appear. So they weren't there before, and I could walk over those things, but now they appear. Now before I touch any of those, I go back to him, and now the text does progress. You don't have all the candles yet, please hurry. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to touch them. As soon as I touch them, they disappear. They're gone. Boom. The party found a candle. So let's go over here. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. And then let's talk to him before we finish the last one. Nope, still don't have enough candles. Let's check the last one. And then let's check to see they are key items. So I set them up as key items. They're essentially quest items. Candle 4, we're not going to be able to use them for anything. And then that's it. So then we're going to go up here and just disregard the snowball and the ability to shoot fire there. But anyway, that's a different thing. So here's this cloak figure. You found them all. Thank you. Here's your reward. And it's going to say, okay, the gold window popped up, 100 gold. The party received 100 gold pieces. The party lost 4 strange candles. And so now we talk to him again. Thank you again. Now I can summon the ancient demon, the dark destroyer of worlds. Oh boy, that's making us sweat. So let's wait. What are you talking about? You should probably leave now while you still can. Mwahaha. And then we can talk to him again. No, stop. Oh, the cloaked figure is too busy performing a summoning ritual to bother with you anymore. And so we can't stop him at that point. It's just the same thing. And then if we check our inventory, all our key items are gone, so all 4 candles are gone. They're not in our inventory anymore. So that's the basic functionality. And just as a bonus, I'll show you this thing here. Yay! Boom! We blew up a snowball. So anyway, that's the basic functionality of this very, very simple fetch type quest. So first in the database, under items, I just created a candle, right? So just again, I have a whole bunch of games that I have started to try different things on, and so this is one in the database. I created a candle, magic candle for quest, right? It is a key item, so you can use those for quests and things like that if you want to. It's non-consumable. You can't sell it. You can basically never use it, right? It doesn't do anything. It's just basically a quest item. So I created that in the database. And then let's look at the candles where they appear. Now, page one is it's blank for contents. It has no image, which is why it doesn't show up on the map, right, when it's on page one. It's basically just there. It's below characters. You can't really do anything with this, right? There's nothing to do with it. Now, when we go to page two, basically page two is being activated by a switch. So when we talk to that NPC, that cloaked figure, when we talk to them, the switch for quest accepted is going to be turned on. And when that switch turns on, then this automatically, right, it automatically moves these events, the 4 candle events, to page 2 because the switch is on. This will be the page with the highest page where the conditions are met. And so the image appears, right? So we now have a candle image, and it's same as characters, and it's set to player touch. So instead of having to select it or click on it, as soon as you bump into it, it activates the contents. And what it does is it turns on Control Self Switch A, it plays a sound effect, it displays a message, the party found a strange candle, it adds a candle, right, from the database. It adds 1 to your inventory. So candle, increase, constant of 1. And then it uses the variable cloaked figure quest, and it's variable 8, named cloaked figure quest, and it's basically increasing it by 1. Okay, so the variable cloaked figure quest is adding a constant of 1. And we're using this variable to move the event along, okay, to move the quest along. So again, the candle is being activated to page 2 by the switch quest accepted. And that happens when we accept the quest from the NPC. Once we engage with that candle and we basically pick it up and collect it, then the self switch A is turned on, which moves the page to page 3. So now page 3 is the highest page where the conditions are met, right? So the conditions are still met for this page. The quest accepted is still on, but page 3 is higher, and self switch A is on, so those conditions are met. So page 3 is the one that the event will always do. So the image went away because the candle's gone. Again, it's below characters, so there's basically nothing there anymore. And essentially, all 4 of these are exactly the same, right? They're exactly the same event. They're doing the exact same thing, increasing that cloaked figure quest variable by 1 and increasing our candles by 1. And each one of those behaves exactly the same. So when you make one, you can just copy and paste it and make more. Now the figure themselves, this is where we initiate the quest. And you can see there's 6 pages. And again, this one was where I was just playing around with using a variable to advance a quest, to advance like a quest line type thing. So the figure is here in their image. They basically are not direction fixed, so that means that they will turn to face us wherever we're engaging with them. Same as character, and they're doing it by player touch. So again, instead of action button where we have to select them, right? By player touch, as soon as we bump into them, this activates the conditions of the page, or the contents of the page, I should say. So it gives us its dialogue, right? Asking us, presenting a choice. Do we want to basically help them? Yes or no, right? And you've seen this in previous tutorials. You can do whatever you want to here for choices, and you can decide which is the default, which is the cancel, etc. And when yes, then we're going to see the dialogue. Sure, we have some time. Sounds like fun. And then we're going to we're going to set the cloaked figure quest variable to 1. So this is the first time that we're using it, right? This engaging with this NP is triggering this. So we're setting the variable cloaked figure quest to 1. And at the same time, we're activating the control switch number 8, quest accepted. We're turning that on. Now, obviously, if you're doing this, you would want to name that switch something more clear, right? So maybe cloaked figure quest or whatever, quest number 1, and then you keep a list of all your quests. I don't know, but obviously it would need to be named much more clear than that. But we're increasing the variable cloaked figure quest by 1, or I'm sorry, we're setting it to 1, and then we're turning on the switch quest accepted, which is what makes those candles appear. All 4 of those candles appear. And then when no, the dialogue, oh, too bad, come back again if you change your mind. Now, by accepting it, we change that variable. So page 2, we're using the condition of the variable cloaked figure quest, and we're saying if it's greater than or equal to 1, which it is, so it's a 1, when we do it here, then this page will be active if we bump into the NPC again. So there's the same image, it's player touch. If we touch them, you don't have all the candles yet, please hurry. Okay? So and they'll keep doing that until page 3 is the conditions are met, which is cloaked figure quest is greater than or equal to 5. Because we set it at 1 on this page, which makes page 2 active. And then when we get a candle, each time we get a candle, it increases it by 1. So 4 candles plus this one makes it a 5. So if it's greater than or equal to 5, that variable, then it'll trigger page 3, which is again still player touch. This isn't going to change at all except for the last page. And then it says, okay, you found them all. Thank you. Here's your reward. We're increasing the gold, right? We're changing gold, increasing it by a constant of 100. This is where we are opening up the gold display, right? So /$ opens up the gold display. Let me see if there we go. So /$ opens up the gold window. We're saying what happened. The party received 100 gold pieces. The party lost 4 strange candles. And then we are changing items and we're subtracting the 4 candles. So candle for the database item, decreasing by a constant of 4. And then we're increasing that cloaked figure quest variable by 1. Because that's going to move the page forward. So the next page, page 4, the variable cloaked figure quest, if it's greater than or equal to 6, which is what happens when we go from page 3, none of this has changed. And now it's going to give us our new dialogue. Hey, we're going to basically summon that ancient demon. The show balloon icon over the player, right? To the sweat icon, wait for completion. So it's like, oh dear, what'd I do? And then it's going to increase that cloaked figure quest variable by 1 again. So it moves the page forward. So this is now, if it's greater than or equal to 7, all this stays the same. We get our next dialogue, and then we increase the variable again by 1, which takes us to our last page where the condition is the variable cloaked figure quest is greater than or equal to 8. And then now we put direction fix so that he's going to ignore us, right? If we're coming at him from this angle or this angle or this angle, he's going to ignore us. He's not even going to turn. And again, it's still player touch. And then we get that text, the cloaked figure is too busy performing a summoning ritual to bother with you anymore. And it's going to stay on that page, right? It's going to basically stay there. So that is essentially the simple quest type, like a fetch type quest using a switch to activate, right? So we're using the switch, quest accepted, to make the candles appear so that we can then collect them. And as soon as we bump into them, they get collected, right? And then we're also using the variable cloaked figure quest to advance our pages. And we can do that. We can just keep going, right? You could have 15, 20 pages on this, just moving your quest along by changing a variable, right? And you can have multiple things. Of course, you can have multiple switches, a variable as well. You can throw some self switches in there. You can throw items and actors in play, all having to do with moving an event forward. Okay. Now I will show you one more thing. Just because, and because if you were paying attention, you might have noticed that this candle changed its appearance when we collected it. It changed into a lantern-looking thing. And I would just show you that when we use stepping, right? When we use stepping, sometimes that makes certain images animate, right? So like maybe the flame looks animated. And I tested this because I was like, I don't know if the candle, I couldn't remember, and I was like, I didn't want to look it up in the database or whatever. And I said, I don't, or in the tile set or whatever. And I said, I don't know if the candle flickers, so I'll just try stepping. And when I did that, let me show you what it does. I set one of them to stepping. And I gotta accept the quest. Now, it's actually moving through. Stepping makes that image move through all of its options within the selectable image, right? Where we got this from. So that's what stepping does for this particular one. So we definitely would not want that to do that, right? So we're going to make sure we get rid of stepping. And what I mean by that is we're over here in the select image, and you notice that it's just this candle here, and it was cycling through the different things, right? So anyway, or maybe it was cycling through this way. I think it might have been cycling up through. So I just wanted to point that out because that is something that you kind of have to pay attention to. Sometimes stepping makes it animate. Sometimes it does unexpected things that you would not want it to do. So you would definitely want to test that and check it out. Okay, and that's pretty much it for a very simple fetch type quest, but it's really focusing on using a switch to make things appear for your quest, right? And you could spread them out over maps, over different maps. You could make different things that you need for a quest appear in different places that you have to slowly gather. And you're moving the quest forward by using a variable. And whenever you hit a milestone in that quest, or you finish something, you're increasing that variable so it can move the pages of the event along. Very simple. So listen, folks, I hope this helped. If these videos do help, if these tutorials help in your RPG Maker journey, whether it be MZ or MV, listen, please like, subscribe, get notifications, leave comments, share with me, and other people your journey, what you're working on, questions you might have, suggestions you might have, or if you found other resources out there that you want to share, by all means, leave a comment, and hopefully everybody will benefit from that. So anyway, thank you very much, folks. Again, I'm going to keep trying to do these when I find quiet time. And in the meantime, have a great day, happy gaming, and happy game developing, and I will see you all later.